And we're back, baby. We are so back. I'm gonna start every episode with this at this point. I'm just gonna say we're so back. That's gonna be
We
the
were
beat.
never gone.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yep. Yep. It feels like every episode's the last one, you know? Who knows what will happen to us, God forbid.
Oh, in this day and age, you never know.
You never know what could happen. Alright. So, last episode, recap. Ray, take it away. Where were we?
Oh boy. Last episode, I think we left off on a decent little encounter cliffhanger of being woken up in the middle of the night with a clangety clang of your Kopesh colliding with the stone floor, revealing it to be connected via a small web that you were unfamiliar with its origin. Whether it was trying to signify you of some type of ulterior motive being led throughout the temple, or if it was just a coincidence, we do not yet know. I will say, however, Isaiah did fail a perception check in the middle of the night, which may come to your notice later in the episode. But after some investigation and the clever use of Lyman, the Bat Champion of the Feywild, he investigated some of the web's source and discovered within this room in which Isaiah has recreated this very knowledgeable and powerful map that there was a dead body missing a face. And upon further investigation, Isaiah had discovered the said corpse and discovered that the source of the web itself leads back from the way he came as well. After some interesting choices of where he wished to look using this map, very similar to a high-powered scrying spell, he inquired 3 individuals that he felt, I assume, could be possibly behind this or connected to it. Got 3 answers. Nothing direct, however. Upon coming back, Isaiah, you discovered that your web was connected to the body of a priest, seemingly outside of Oslam Darai's quarters. And as he was confronted by your hold person spell, it was made very clear that this individual was wearing a face that did not belong to him. What happened before that can be recapped in the episode.
Yeah. Go back, listener.
If there are any.
Yeah, exactly. We're dwindling down to a half.
Yes.
But it's okay. Let's see here. So I'm currently in this encounter with this astute gentleman, and he's trying to pull some funny business. Would you say we're in initiative right now?
Well, my friend, since you did roll a spell on him, I'm going to say that we are absolutely in initiative at this moment in time as I begin my rolls.
All right, here we go. Roll it. Oh, that's pretty good. Not mad at that.
All right. What is your initiative, Isaiah?
Got a natural. No, not natural. I got a 16 total.
16 total. All right. So that will place you right there. Isaiah, this individual before you has revealed himself to be very spider-like in their physique. No longer having to put up a facade, it seems like this loose illusion across the face that was causing the removed face to possibly give off this decently passing image under a hood attached identity is essentially more or less discarded. Still cloaked underneath this patch of skin, you cannot tell the true visage of this being, but the cloak begins to give way to what looks to be a spider-like torso, larger legs, this viscous ooze spilling from the mouth of this individual in a yellowish gold hue that drips upon the floor with what looks to be small orbs coming out of its mouth. It looks at you and back at the door and begins its turn by shooting a web in your direction. Isaiah, I would like you to give me a dexterity saving throw,
Okay.
if you'd be so kind.
I'll allow it. That'll be a 12 total.
A 12 total, that will get you caught up in this web just barely. It shoots off a ball of web that essentially you raise your shield up to, but it doesn't even make contact before it just explodes amongst the hallway and envelops you, envelops Lyman, who is invisible at this moment in time, still,
Wait
and
a
essentially.
second. Let me just double check something. I want to see what the shield. I have a shield master feat, I believe.
Oh, you do, actually. You can
Um,
add your shield AC to your dex throws, possibly.
Add your shield's AC bonus to any dex saving throw
So you get a
you
plus
make
3.
against. Yeah, so that would be a 15 total. And if I take damage from this, I take half on failure and then none on a success.
Well, luckily enough, reality is rewritten just like that.
Oh, God bless. God bless. I was like,
Just like that.
God bless. Reality is whatever I make it to be.
As you produce your shield forward, you're unfamiliar with this general shape, and in this smaller type of passageway, it encompasses a lot of area. So the web itself does collide with the very top of the shield, deflects off of the shield, and erupts behind you. Do you want to roll me another d20 to see if Lyman doesn't get caught up in this?
Oh no, no, Lyman.
He has a +4 to dex saves.
This is a natural 10, so 14?
14? He actually does save as well. So Lyman invisibly does a barrel roll, even though no one sees it. He knows he's pretty sick.
I'm feeling
As a
willy
little guy.
badass right now. Widowy.
Widowy. The spider sees the failure in succumbing you to his trap, simply moves backwards into Oslam's quarters, dropping his decanter of water on the ground, simply backs into the door, forcing it open, and shuts it from the other side. You hear a click, and that comes to your turn, Isaiah.
How far away is this creature from me?
It was about 30 feet when we last left off.
Okay. I'm gonna play around with some. I'm gonna see if this is possible. Can I? When you hit a creature with pardon me as I get a little crazy here and I try something here. But the sword that I'm wielding is called the Stinger of the Web Weaver, right?
Correct.
If I take the title of the sword literally, it seems like I can interpret it to um, manipulate webs as I see fit, and even to the extent where the sword empowers me to have the ability to summon webs. Now, my question is to you: do I get the sense that I could use the stinger of the web weaver to manipulate the webs in the arachnid figure ahead of me?
I would say it would take some further investigation for you to do so, especially being in the presence of this being would be a requirement. And
Okay.
at this moment in time, it has avoided you currently.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, I will the gentleman's name that's in the room, his name is Oslam, correct?
Oslam Durai.
Yeah, Oslam Dry. I will go up to and the door is open, correct? I can see him.
It has been shut and locked.
Oh, okay, okay. So in that case, then I will walk up to this arachnid figure, and I'm going to I'm gonna take two swings on it with my stinger of the web weaver, and
I should rephrase. He has gone inside of the door and locked it from the inside,
oh shit, oh shit.
locking you out.
Hmm. If that's the case, then this changes things. Uh, can I make an investigation check to assess the durability of the door?
You may do so.
Okay. That's a natural 15 for a 19.
19. Looks relatively sturdy, not very ornate. A wooden door.
Okay. Um. Then in that case, I will cast Thunderous Smite at first level on my sword, and I'm going to kind of lumberjack, axe uh, my Singer of the Web Weaver at the door. This is my, here's Isaiah moment.
You channel your inner Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, yeah. And this will be a natural 17, and then a natural 14 for both of those attacks. That'll be 2d8. Two. So that's going to be 22 points of slashing damage. Let me double check something. Oh, that's a creature. Okay. And then 4 points of thunder damage as I make contact with the door, and I just hear the as the thunder just cracks and splinters the wood in chunks everywhere. Um, would you say that 26 points total would break down the door?
The door will be launched inwards into the chamber before you, revealing two things that are the most apparent to you immediately. The impossibly strong scent of blood and a bright, burning red light as you see Aslam Durai in the very center of what looks to be this gigantic, I shouldn't say gigantic, but a enormous blood-like sphere, holding his own neck, as there are three individuals surrounding him from specific points around this blood-like sphere, and this spider figure moving on top of the ceiling of the room itself towards what looks to be a fourth figure near the back of the room. The individuals themselves, they are dressed in what looks to be these black robes. Their heads are covered in helmets that you saw only in a passing image of the zealots you have been revealed to before. Their heads themselves enchanted to look like glowing flames with these strange helmets that hide their visage. They look over at you with great alarm as you launch the door off insanely, and this spider-like figure is confronting one of them as we speak. But Amdarai is in their duress right now, and he seems to be in great need as we speak.
Okay. Well, that'll end my turn.
All right. So we're going to go to Oslam, and let me see if he can do anything here. Nope, he's incapacitated. So, Oslam just simply looks over in your direction, holding his throat. He seems to be trying to weave signs of magic with his hands, but just cannot manage to do so, and is simply drowning in what seems to be this sphere of blood. Which means it is going to be the Blood Mage's turns. Now, you have entered the premises, and that sucks for them. The one that is tangled up with the spider is going to go first, and he is going to take 2 blood lashes on this one particular guy.
Do I know who can I get the so I can assess that the spider's beefing with the blood mages.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are third-partying these blood mages and Oslam as we speak right now.
Okay, continue.
So, let me see that. Okay, that is going to hit. He's going to do some damage to the spider itself. You see him whip out this bloody tendril from his hand that connects to 2 fingers and cleaves into the spider's flesh, leaving a little bit of its viscera on the ground here. The other 3 are going to continue concentrating on the spell and communicate between each other, and that's all they can really do at this moment in time. That is going to go to the spider's turn. The spider is going to attack this head mage here. That's a nat 20, so that is going to be
I like that.
a pretty hefty amount of damage right there. So you see the spider very quickly reveal a stinger on the back of his torso, and it shoots off in very rapid succession 2 strikes into the underarm area of the blood mage as they're whipping each other with any type of magic and such.
That's inappropriate.
It is. And it comes to your turn at this point. I will also say Lyman is acting as your familiar at this moment in time, and he has one ability, that is Shocking Grasp.
Yeah.
He can also provide you the help action.
Okay. Let me see here.
However, doing so will reveal his invisibility, but he can re-enter invisibility if he does not perform any other action in his next turn.
Can I make a intelligence check to see if the spell that... Well, I guess let me just ask this. The thing that my guy is inside of Oslam Durai, is this a spell? This is a spell, correct?
Looks like a spell.
Okay. Can I make an intelligence check to see if this spell is concentration?
I would say just roll me a very easy insight check.
Okay. That's a natural 18.
Oh yeah, those 3 mages. It seems like it's a much higher spell for their yield. They are all 3 concentrating on it.
Okay. Then, in that case, I'm going to stand right next to Oslam. I'm imagining like kind of triangle formation, right? Triangle formation of these 3 blood mages, and at the very center is Oslam Devrai being forced into this blood sphere, levitated off the ground, and this spider third party fella is currently, you know, penetrating one of the blood mages with his thorn. 6 inches deep or so, because he got that crit.
Yep.
So far, is that correct in my assessment of what's going on so far?
It seems like I'll say that is a pretty general insight check for the whole scenario here. It seems like the spider has a deep grudge against specifically this head mage compared to the smaller ones in particular. Seems to be paying no attention to Aslam Darai at all, but did pay attention to you, quite frankly.
Um, okay, that works for me because I think what I'm gonna do. Can I stand adjacent to Oslam Devrai without taking opportunity attacks?
To get to Aslam Darai, you would have to enter the sphere itself, which, jeez. Yeah, he's a good 10 feet or so inside of this sphere. That's not a full sphere because the room itself is too short, but the mages themselves are outside of it, so you couldn't quite reach them unless you tried to enter it yourself.
Can I get
In which case, you will take damage.
Can I enter underneath the sphere?
It is touching both ceiling and floor.
Okay. Then, in that case, I will stand right in front of the sphere, we'll say.
Okay.
And this is what I will do. I will. I will put my hands up in a similar gesture. I'm going to try to mimic the gesture of the blood mages themselves, and I'm going to kind of pantomime as if I'm one of them. And I'm going to try to give the illusion that I understand the magic that they're casting right now, and therefore I know how to manipulate it. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern, and I'm going to give the idea that their spell, because of my manipulation, is completely fucking up, and the red sphere, blood sphere that Aslam Devrai is in, I want to make them see the sphere start to approach them individually and give them the impression that they're about to get consumed by it.
All right.
And so all of them need to make wisdom saving throws.
Okay. They all 3 will roll then. So first one we got. What is the DC?
15.
15. Okay, that one fails. That one fails. And that one rolled a nat 1.
That's fucked
So
up.
all 3 of them have failed. As they do so, I believe are they incapacitated or
This creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0.
Yeah, they immediately feel themselves being encompassed by the blood sphere and have found themselves in a fantasy that they cannot possibly imagine, but are doing so as you have imagined it. The blood immediately spills out and dissipates across the floor in a very hot temperature oozing up into the sky, or not the sky, but the room up, causing a mist, essentially. As you see, Oslam was also burning alive inside as well. Gasping for air, he can't do anything at this moment in time. But all three mages at this point have been incapacitated. You got anything else?
Nope. Nope. I
Have you-
just really
All right.
wanted to fuck up the operation here with some cool roleplay and visual imagery.
Well, I suppose next up is Oslam. And Oslam is going to look at you, assess the situation between these three. I'll have him roll a general insight check. He's not a stupid guy. That's not a bad roll. Okay. So he's going to see that these three are out of the picture. He won't concentrate on them. He's going to run over towards you, Isaiah. Uh, he's dressed as if he was attacked in the middle of the night. He's not wearing much. He's wearing essentially the bare minimums. And he is going to... Yeah, I think he's going to grab you. And I think he's going to cast invisibility on both of you. Yeah.
That's a move. That's a move. That's an interesting move.
So he's going to cast invisibility on both of you. And you hear him hovering around the back of the doorway at this moment in time where you came from.
Interesting. Do I get the idea that this arachnid fella is going to try to fuck up the blood mages? Or just the one that he has beef with?
At this moment in time, you see the arachnid is very much so concentrating on this particular blood mage himself. However, the blood mage has certainly changed his attention to you at this moment in time, and to the fact that Oslam is now free.
But he can't make his attention because he sees a
Well,
hypnotic pattern. And we're invisible, right?
well, the one blood mage himself fighting the arachnid was a ways away from the other three.
Oh, there's 4 blood mages.
Yes, there's four. There's a
Okay. Okay,
head
that's my
mage, it
bad.
seems. But since you guys have now recently just become unavailable for sight, it has limited his ability to do anything at this moment in time.
Fireball has saved a lot of problems.
It certainly has. You see the blood mage. He backs up and he's going to take a... Oh no, it's the spider's turn first.
Give me a second, Ray, real quick here.
Okay.
And we're back to it, just like that.
Movie magic.
And since we are back to it,
yeah.
the blood mage, you see him look up. You guys are gone at this moment in time. He is going to use Sanguine Sense. And suddenly he makes not eye contact, but looks in your direction as you feel him essentially ping what feels like your own location. The spiderling at this moment in time is going to take an opportunity attack on him, as he's going to leave his area of effect here. That's going to miss. That's a 6 on the die. The blood mage places both his hands together. His robes turn from black to a white and red as he begins to soak up all the blood on the ground. And he aims the very tip of both his hands in the direction of the spider and you. And a jet stream of blood is going to shoot out, Isaiah. If you would so kindly give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Holy Mary, Mother of God. That is A natural 1
Oh no.
for a 6.
Son of a bitch. Alright. Well, that's fine.
Does this spell deal damage?
It absolutely deals damage.
Okay. I will
So,
probably have to make a roll for my concentration check on
oh, you're
hypnotic pattern.
concentrating. Okay.
Do I add my constitution saving throw or no? How does concentration checks work? Is it just a flat roll?
It is a con save.
Oh, it's a con save. Okay.
Yeah.
Reroll and hopefully not a nat 1 again. 13. So I'm still focused.
You haven't seen the damage yet. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay.
I believe you do take half, so you might actually be focused because I think Shield Master allows you to take half.
Yeah, I'll be taking
even
half.
if you fail.
And it was a natural
Okay.
13, but it's a 17 total.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you more than likely pass this for sure. So it's been a long time since I've done math. I haven't had to in a little bit here.
You
All
take
right.
90 points of damage. You fucking bitch.
What's half of 21?
That would be
Just 10?
10 rounded up. 11.
Okay, so we'll do 11 there. You take 11 points of damage as this jet stream of blood cuts through the floor, the wall, the spider, and you ever so slightly. But your shield does get dinged, and the space in between where it is essentially meant to release itself ignites with magic. So it is charged and ready to be launched if necessary.
That sounds good to me. That sounds very good to me.
The blood mage moves over to one of his lackeys and essentially stands over him. And we'll end his turn there. The spider looks at the blood mage after taking his swipe at him. Looks over in your direction, doesn't see a thing.
Am I not just covered in blood, though?
You are invisible.
Oh.
So anything you are wearing and have currently at this moment in time is invisible, but I suppose there'd be blood dripping on the ground from your position, so...
I'm a walking invisible mold of blood. I'm a silhouette.
Essentially. But the spider doesn't pay you too much mind and is essentially going to... I think is going to try to web him. I think that's probably the best case scenario for him at this moment in time. So, the mage and his lackey, which I'm pretty sure the lackey's just going to fail. This is Dex. Only a +2? That's still pretty good. Okay, yeah. So the web's not going to quite get the blood mage, but the lackey, the lesser apprentice, is going to be caught up in the web, as he can't move anyways.
Okay, interesting.
And the spider's going to make his way back over towards the mage anyways. So, going back to your turn, Isaiah.
Okay. How far away is head mage dude that just shot blood at me?
Only about 15 feet to your right.
Okay. I will take the 15 feet and walk over to him. And because I'm flanking and I'm... am I flanking with the spider? Or do I get advantage because I'm invisible? Is there anything to do with that?
You're invisible, so you would have advantage on your first attack for sure. Oh, I suppose you're not invisible to the blood mage. He can see you through sanguine sense if you didn't catch that.
But would I not be... Okay, but am I not flanking with this arachnid fellow?
I'm going to say that he's not necessarily providing you an option to get an opening on an attack. He's bestial in his assaults, so he's not working with you necessarily, and he doesn't even know you're there, so...
Okay. Then this is my last quote-unquote reach as I'm fighting to get advantage right now.
I know. Keep going.
Can I position Lyman opposite of dude?
Oh,
to invoke advantage?
Absolutely.
Then I would do that. I would have Lyman be opposed to him, and then I will take my first attack with advantage.
Take your attack, as Lyman is going to give you the help action there.
I'm going to get my lick back with that nat 1 I rolled. Jeez Louise. That is a natural 19. Damn, I was close. Second attack.
All right.
Natural 17. Damn, no nat 20s for now.
Yeah, those are pretty high numbers.
Take my 2 attack. Oh, and then I want to bonus action send out my leaf shield, the tip of the leaf shield.
Okay. Yeah, you
as
can.
an attack. Is that a roll to hit?
That's a roll to hit, and it's going to be 2d8.
Okay. What modifier do I add to hit with the shield? Is it the same thing as my sword, or is it a dex?
It's going to be your strength modifier, I'm going to say.
Okay, strength modifier. Do I get a proficiency bonus then too?
Yes, I will say so.
All right. So then that'll be natural 11 plus 8, so 19. 19 to hit.
19 will just be enough in this instance, yes.
Okay, and that'll be 2d8 you said for the shield. Or 2d6.
Yep, 2d8 for the shield.
Okay. So that'll be 8 points of piercing damage for the shield. This will be, with my sword, 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then 3 points of force damage, 8 points of force damage. I don't know what that is total, but that's a lot of damage.
I think it might be 30 in total. Does that count the shield?
Yeah, I did the shield damage. The 2d8 was, I forgot what I got for the 2d8. I just got 11 points in force damage. I got 9 and 10 for the 2 attacks. Okay. So yeah, that's already at 31. And then plus the shield damage.
Okay.
Because I get the 2 attacks, I get the force damage, and then I got the shield damage.
So his health drops exponentially in this situation. And the spider gets the shit scared out of him as soon as you appear randomly next to him, doing all of this damage.
Does this blood mage suffer a critical wound as I dealt so much massive damage as a cool bloody fucking warrior paladin sent from the gods themselves, to snuff his bitch ass? Anything like that?
He does not suffer a critical wound. He simply suffers his wounds in general and now has this shield lodged within his body.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's a bonus action to summon that back?
It would be, yes, in your next turn, as you use it to launch it.
Yep. Okay, that'll end my turn.
So, you have showed your hand. Going back to Oslam's turn, you are no longer invisible. He, however, is. You don't hear him. His turn has finished at this moment in time. You see the blood mage look in your direction, sizing you up a bit. Seems to be ever so shaky in the hands at this moment in time. Begins to cast a spell, Isaiah.
Can I make an insight check to see if I would know what spell he's casting before it's fully cast?
You may make an Arcana check, starting with the... I believe the DC is 10 plus the spell's level to identify what spells are in Xanathar's. I believe that is the rule. So you need to make a DC 16 Arcana check.
God bless. This is a natural 13 for a 17.
All right. I think it's 16, but either way, that's going to be enough, more than likely. But you see him beginning to cast what looks to be a dimension door.
Oh, come on, dog.
Oh no, it's not 16. Okay, yeah, it was 14.
Oh, come on. Yeah, this is perfect time to use my reaction. I'm definitely gonna counterspell that. If it is casting a spell of 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Make an ability check, my friend.
Okay. I don't add anything to this. Wait, if it is.
Believe you add your charisma modifier?
If it is casting, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. Okay, and my
Yeah.
modifier is charisma. Okay.
Yes, it is.
God damn it. It's a natural 6 for a 9.
Natural 6 for a 9. Okay. The Blood Mage simply puts a foot on one of his allies, and in a pool of blood pouring from his own wounds, envelops him and sucks him and his friend away. The spider is incredibly furious at this moment in time. Your counterspell, sadly, hits him, but cannot dissipate this magic that you've never seen before at this moment in time. Spider's turn is up. I'm going to say he looks at you, turning to face you at this moment in time. And he is going to back up tentatively.
Do I see where they dimension door off to?
You do not. You know it's within 500 feet of the area.
Oh, it can be a place you can see, one you can visualize, or one you can describe by stating.
Basically a place you're familiar with, within 500 feet.
Let's see here. Just double checking something here, just because I want to make sure if there's any worthy or valid receipts that I could potentially bring up. I assume that the Blood Mage actually. Okay, so you let me know how this happens, because it says it can be a place you can see, one you can visualize, or you can describe by stating distance and direction. If I can't see the Blood Mage, it can't be a place that he can see. But if he's an invader, I would feel like he wouldn't know where or what he's visualizing if he's in the middle of this temple, if he's new to it. But maybe he can, and you can describe otherwise. Or he described where he was going. He stated a direction and a distance, and did that. And I was going to say, if he did it that way, could I potentially track him that way?
Give me a general insight check.
Yeah, I'll give you an insight. Mother of God! 8 total.
You know the spell well enough that it can go 500 feet in a direction. The temple itself goes in maybe a good amount of that distance into this mountain, which means that unless he's trying to go deeper, which you don't even know if there is a deeper, he's trying to go to the entrance, which there is one of.
Okay. Does the arachnid give the impression that he is a spellcaster?
You look at him, he seems innately magical.
Okay. Cool.
Which, during his turn, he is going to essentially move past you, Isaiah. You do get an opportunity attack if you wish to take it, but he doesn't seem too interested in fighting you.
Can I use a free action to either speak to him in... Probably speak to him in Jabaxi and say... Okay. I'll say... He went towards the front entrance, lend me your aid to fight him by teleporting us, casting long stride, or anything. And I'll see what he says.
The spider looks over at you, looks at Lyman as he begins his escape. You speak to him, and he seems to want to respond initially, and simply just says, "You are not my prey. You belong to another. Do not get in my way," and pursues outside of the hall.
Okay, bitch.
He's going to take the dash action, and I'm going to say that as you see him get towards the webs themselves, he essentially turns very small into a regular sized spider and simply goes through them that are encompassing the hallway that he had made earlier.
Hmm. Whose turn is it then?
At this point in time, it's Oslam's. Oslam is going to come back into the room. He's going to reveal his invisibility, and he's going to say to you, "Isaiah, what is going on? These blood mages assaulted me in the middle of the night, and this beast comes in with you?"
Aslam, everything you've said is correct. And shockingly, I don't have too much additional information to add. I woke up in the middle of the night to a noise, a disturbance. I think something fell over, and I noticed that my Stinger of the Webweaver was. Was that how I remember it? Stinger of the Webweaver wasn't in the room, right?
It clanged onto the ground loudly.
Yeah, something like that. And I went to investigate. Was that the main hall that the map is in?
Yeah, it's close to the entrance of the temple itself.
Okay. I would describe the room that the map is in, and then how I saw the faceless dead gentleman that was in the room. And then I would recount my journey to check in on him, and how upon trying to check in on him, I saw a Spider-Man, and was trying to stop him. He locked the door, and then that's where we ended up now. Blood mages, spiders attacking, and you almost getting your life taken for what seems to be no reason. I don't know if you know these people, but help me in understanding what's going on here. What do you know?
He starts going over towards the two incapacitated mages as we speak, and he starts removing spell casting focuses. He goes to essentially bind them in whatever way he can without, releasing the hypnotic pattern, and simply says, "Killing me would be one of the most foolish things an individual could do. It would cause nothing but their own death in return. I fear what this could have meant, whether or not certain secrets of mine have been revealed. Secrets that I shouldn't share, but I will do so in the future. Will you continue your pursuit of this beast, or will you leave it be?"
If you can lend me your aid in at least getting there, I would certainly try.
Oslam is going to give you a bardic inspiration. You will have access to a D12 at this moment in time as he gives you a chant. And he is going to use his last spell slot that he has to cast Haste upon you.
Okay.
Your speed is now doubled. He's now concentrating on this.
Hmm.
I would look up the effects. I believe you get 1 extra attack, you get an extra turn, but if you use it to attack, you only get 1 extra attack. Your speed is doubled. I think there's a +2 to your AC, possibly. And you have advantage on dex saving throws.
Yeah, I'll just pull up the spell in the background and just read it quietly to myself. Then in that case, as he does that, I'm gonna get into my, I guess the closest thing to my flash position. You know, I'm ready to book it. I will. Is there like a brazier nearby or a torch?
There are a few sconces and torches that you can get by with, yeah. At this moment, your first obstacle is this small web passageway wall that is currently obscuring you, but you think with a few attacks, you might be able to get through it.
I'm definitely gonna light it on fire.
All right.
I'm gonna take.
You light it ablaze.
I'm going to take the one of the sconces or brazier. Yeah, braziers. That's what they're called? Braziers.
Braziers or bras.
Look, hey, they're hot either way. Am I right?
I know. Yeah, they
All
are.
right.
They are.
Anyways,
They're both pretty hot.
we're gonna get taken off the air. Anyways,
Yeah,
I would definitely throw like a hot coal or something like that just to start the fire, and I would try running through.
You run through with all your might. The webs themselves are rather sturdy, but I'm going to say with haste and your full weight, you're able to bust through these webs no problem and keep your footing. Where are you going? Towards the entrance, I assume?
Going to the entrance.
Okay. You rush through. Just roll me a general athletics check to see how well you're able to just bust through, essentially, all the passageways and avoid all the potential individuals passing by.
Yeah. So I will do this athletics check, and it will be a really good natural 8 for a 12.
So, there's a few instances where you catch a few corners a little too fast. There's some abrupt stops here and there. A couple carpets that were a little too dusty on the underside. Some laziness on the priest's part. You know, just not wanting to clean up too much. They just sweep it under there. But, more or less, you managed to make your way towards the entrance. I will say at one point in time, near the entrance, you do blow by what is your dragonborn buddy Malice, nursing a neck wound that is oozing a yellow, golden venom on the inside as you blaze past him in the glory of your own haste. He doesn't even get a word out before you're past him at this moment in time. You make it to the entrance, and there's a number of priests and guards outside that seem to be shaken a bit. A number of them have been wounded and or are dead at this moment in time as well. Seemingly the Blood Mage did reveal themselves here, causing more casualties.
How many? Do you have a number, or is it too much to count?
2 that are dead for sure, a number that are wounded, but it seems like there's a decent amount of trails of blood going throughout the cityscape down the mountain.
And then how many blood mages are currently here?
None in the current vicinity.
I know I didn't multi-class, but Ray, this is a really good time to ask, like, how does one become a blood hunter? Because I'm trying to get these motherfuckers. Give me, can I make either a perception check to see if I could find where the head mage would have went, or where any members have gone by, or an investigation check, I suppose?
I will allow you to roll an investigation check to see what you can find.
I cut him up pretty bad. I feel like, oh, Ray.
Yep.
I'm gonna bonus action return the tip of my leaf shield.
All right.
And
That's what I was waiting for.
I'm gonna see where it's coming from. Yeah, we're so back, baby. We're so back.
Your shield has been so gone at this moment in time, and it clicks in your mind. The shield. You place one hand on your arm, and you summon it forth. Downwards from the cityscape, you see a glowing light of green, and a rather ominous scream as this shield
That's what
seems to be covered in blood and dust as it flies up from the, I'll say, from your direction looking north. We'll pretend you're looking north at this moment in time, or, at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It comes from what looks to be your 10 o'clock down the mountain at this moment in time.
And is it far away? Is it still like a dimension door's distance away, like 500 feet?
It's not that far. It makes it back to you in a decent amount of time. It does seem like it went through a couple laundry lines. It's got a few clothing. It's got a few braziers here and there. But you got it back.
All right.
Lyman adorns one on his head.
Do I have a telepathic connection to Lyman?
I'll say for the sake of this, yeah.
Okay. Can I telepathically tell Lyman to fly above and track the mage while I pursue him throughout the town? Just keep an eye on him?
You have it, boss. And he erupts in electricity, launching himself from the ground like the Apollo 11.
God bless.
And sends himself out and turns invisible because he doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah. I'm going to send myself hauling ass down this mountain to try to find that dude.
All right, so you go 120 feet per round, I believe, with double distance.
Haste has a concentration spell is up to a minute.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind for how many rounds I have.
A simple question. Rooftops or just the thoroughway? The alleys?
Rooftops, of course.
Okay. You make your way through rooftops. Give me an athletics check.
All right. Can I potentially make an acrobatics check?
Yeah, you can.
All right.
Probably a bad idea, but all right.
You don't know me. Natural 18 for a 17.
Okay. All right.
I get advantage on dexterity. Oh, wait, that's dexterity saving throws, not dexterity checks.
Yeah, you do.
Okay,
You do.
so none of those rolls count. I'll re-roll. Okay, I committed to it.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Either way,
punished
it's still
'cause
a
I
good
can't
roll.
read. It's. Oh, you still want to count the 18? The 17?
Oh, you roll, baby. You roll, baby.
I rolled with advantage, though.
I'll let you roll with advantage because you're hasted right now.
Okay. Then, yeah, 18. 17.
All right. You take off. Middle of the night. You take the sight of many things. The moons are very bright at this moment in time. And the city itself is generally very peaceful. The interesting thing is that Isaiah, in the distance, amongst the fields, the rocky plains, you see buildings that are enormous. They start glowing. There's a number of magical effects out and about. Almost like illusions are making themselves manifest and then dissipate as quickly as they come by. A number of the glyphs upon the houses that seemingly protected the tavern, the Squeaky Genie that you were in, start to fluctuate, dissipate, change the symbol upon them. Something's going on that is odd and different. It's not long during your chase that you see the spider in his full form at this moment in time, making his way nowhere near as fast as you, but far more quickly than you would have been able to in your regular state, towards two individuals that have enhanced their speed with some type of magic. Seemingly, Longstrider was cast on somebody in the night. However, you have a far more enhanced version of your assistants. So let me ask you this. Are you going to go straight for the mages, or are you going towards the spider?
I'm definitely going straight for the mages. I feel like if I caught up to the spider, he'd be like, "Hey, bitch, what the fuck did I just tell you?" and like trip me or something.
Possibility. So I'm going to say that you're going to make it towards the blood mages, cutting them off. Do you want a little distance from them, or do you want to land right in front of them, essentially?
Hmm.
Or do you just want to attack?
How far is Spider-Man behind me?
He seems to be a good 80 feet or so. He'll catch up in maybe a turn or two.
Okay, then I think I would want to land right in front of him.
Okay.
Like,
Isaiah, you land right before the mage master and his apprentice. You in the moonlight are rather intimidating.
blood on me. I look
There is
nothing like my oath.
You are soaked in blood. There is I would say Oslam's magic is more like a lightish blue electricity about you, exacerbating the magics that you have on you currently on a regular basis. You stand before them in the pale moonlight, giving them a choice. They look at you. The one mage looks at his master and just starts to back up ever so slightly. But you see the master begin weaving incantations and signs, not deterred by your presence. And he says, "Must we dance again?"
I would sigh and I would say, I don't know why you say again. We didn't even get to finish our first. And I would take out the Kopesh.
Okay. Let us re-roll initiative, my friend. This
Let's do
could be pivotal right now. So I will roll for the blood mages. Oh. You're going to win. I'm just going to say that.
I got a natural 10 for a 9.
Okay. You got a natural 2.
All right. As a side note, Ray, I don't know if D&D Beyond is bugged or if Baldur's Gate 3 has treated me right, but why, as an 11 paladin, do I only get one channel divinity and Shadowheart gets like 3, like 2 or 3?
Well, because she's a cleric.
Oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
not a paladin. Okay, then in that case, I will. I will begin. I will begin. This
All
time,
right, Isaiah. You know what to do.
going to attack with. Can I make a telepathic message to tell Lyman to fly below? Can I give him my location, like where I am in the bazaar?
Yep, he's aware.
Okay. Then I would summon him to fly behind and get ready to shocking grasp one of these bastards. As I am going to put away my shield and hold my Singer the Webweaver with 2 hands. And I'm going to make my first strike. That is going to be a 18 total.
Your first strike, 18 total on that. He is going to use his Blood Aegis, and he is going to raise his AC. So that one will not hit. But you do have 2 more attacks if you wish.
Why would I have 2 more attacks?
Because you have a second action with haste.
Oh, that's right. Ew.
Which now I realize your dashes would have been doubled, so you would have been doing way more distance than that. 180 feet, I think, but
no, it would still be 120 because I'm at 30. So that would be 60-foot dash, 60-foot dash times 2 is 120.
yeah, 60-foot dash, and then another 60-foot dash because you have another action.
Oh yeah, so that'd be 180. Okay, yeah, I'd be booking it. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, I forgot, but oh well, it doesn't
it's
change.
okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, second attack will be a natural 15 for a 24.
That one will hit.
And if I get an additional action, that would be an additional attack roll. The action can only be used to only take the attack, one weapon attack only. Okay, so it's 3 hits. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's only one more attack.
So then 25. Okay, let's see. Last roll. Okay, I think that's going to miss. 6 plus 9 is 15. 15, so only 1 hit. So give me this guy. And then give me this guy. So that's going to be 9 points of slashing damage. And 6 points of force damage for a 15 total.
15.
And then I'm going to... end my turn there.
Okay. That is going to be... So just those 15 points of damage. Deduct that real quick. He's taken a lot of damage. A lot of damage here. Alright. So, I can't convey his emotions on his face, even though I very much so want to, as he's invisible facially right now. However, you can tell that you've done a decent amount of damage. His body's shaky a little bit. He's very good at holding the blood within his body despite his wounds, but at this moment in time, his body has begun to fail in that regard. However, the apprentice seems to want to move in this regard, and he is going to take a step back, in which case you see his master look over in his direction. A flash of magic between the two of them, and suddenly the apprentice just begins to shake and convulse. Go ahead.
When he takes a step back, does that provoke an opportunity attack?
I would say the master himself is not going to move, but if you want to attack the apprentice, yes.
I will do that.
Okay.
Oh, natural 3 for a 12.
That will not hit. So
Okay.
you have taken your opportunity attack. Do you want Lyman to perform his shocking grasp on anybody?
Is it his turn right now?
Technically, he would have gone during your turn.
Okay, then yeah, I would have... Oh, wait. Does that mean he was in... Oh, he wasn't there at that point. Now he's here.
He's here now.
Okay, because I was about to say, give me some advantage on some of those swings, dog. Jeez. But okay, then yeah, I would have him use shocking grasp on the Probably the master.
All right, he'll use his shocking grasp. He doesn't have a decent to hit, but he's got advantage at this moment in time. This could be pretty good in this situation. Well, trying to think. No, his blood ages is still up, so Lyman generates all of the electricity from his body that does absolutely no damage as seen before, just simply tickles and generates it to a little poke, and he pokes the master in the back of the head and is blocked by the blood ages, unfortunately revealing Lyman to the presence of this individual. Lyman's just like, fuck. And the blood mage apprentice tries to leave, misses. You miss the attack on him. Begins to convulse, and his body, the blood in his body, starts to just pump ever so powerfully from the top of the bottom of the mask into the direction of his heart, and his limbs begin to expand, ever much so in a grotesque way, and he begins to pulsate. You hear the master say, "Where do you think you were going to go?" And the apprentice starts to move towards you, and he's going to try to grapple you, Isaiah.
Is that a contested strength check or what?
It's a contested strength check. I rolled a 18 flat.
Yeah, that's gonna win.
Okay. He gets his hands on you. The grip is supernaturally strong, far more than you would have assumed this individual to be capable of. And the proportions of their body start to become more and more grotesque and abrupt, almost like their body's barely able to contain the magic flowing within them. That is going to go to the spider's turn. He's going to make his move. He's almost here, but he's not quite there yet. It comes back to your turn, Isaiah.
Okay. I think I'm going to. Am I? Ooh. I can't cast spells that have somatic components, correct? At this point, as grappled?
No, you can.
Okay.
You can. You're not incapacitated. You're just grappled. That means your speed is 0. That's all.
Okay. Then, in that case... I'm going to make that big hulking bastard. I'm going to try to cast Hold Person to see if I can paralyze him as he's snuffing me, and I'm trying to take my golden glyphs and put him in a bind with it.
Lovely.
Wisdom 15.
What is the Wisdom 15. All right. Let me see. Any plus to wisdom? Plus 4. That is an 8. That is going to fail. The body abruptly stops in a very disgusting form. They're paralyzed, so I'm going to say that the grapple is going to end on you.
I'm stealing from Baldur's Gate 3 because that's I'm gonna steal.
How dare you?
Can I take a bonus action on the headmaster, and I'm gonna try to shove him into his big bloated balloon buddy over there?
I'll allow it. Yeah, give it a shot.
Is that roll to hit, or is that just a strength check?
It's gonna be a contested strength check.
Okay.
Let me see what his plus is. Not great for strength. No. Mages, you know.
Cocked. Oh my fucking goodness. Why now?
I got a 14.
I got a natural 20 for a 24, buddy.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you with a backhand in your hasted self, you just blitz this guy. You're much faster and much stronger than this mage man. He causing his little somatic hand signs and incanting whatever spell he was going to use before all this happened. Suddenly, abruptly stops, and you backhand him into his ally, who is paralyzed. So I'm gonna say that they both land on the ground together.
Would you say he's prone?
Yep, he's prone.
Okay. Can I take my second action then with haste? Or at
Yes.
this point is it dropped?
No, haste is still up for now.
Okay. So question, if I make an attack, is this 2 attacks or is this still only 1 attack?
I'm gonna say since you didn't take an attack yet, I'm just gonna say you get your 2.
Okay. And since he's prone, would it be at advantage?
Yes.
A cocked one. Natural 17 for 26 total. And then this will be a natural 14 for a 23 total.
Both of those will hit.
This will be 24 points of slashing damage
Ouch.
and 8 points of force damage.
And 8 points of force damage.
So 32 points. Yeah, 32 points of damage.
He looks very, very hurt in this moment in time.
And then I think since while he's still prone, I want Lyman to get his lick back and try shocking grasp again if he's
Yes.
able to.
He's able to. He does not have a great plus to hit, but he can do something, potentially. So with advantage, Lyman shoots up into the air for style and shoots back down.
A glorious Thunderbird. Fly!
Oh, God bless, he did it. He does 1d8 worth of lightning damage. Oh, God. Where's my d8? There it is. That's a 8 on the die! He
That
looks
is
even more
nice.
bloodied, and he loses his reaction.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So that puts him down to still pretty low. Oops.
And then,
Those
yeah,
are
let both of them take their turns. When it gets to the paralyzed buddy's turns, he can make an additional wisdom saving throw to break out of the paralysis.
Okay, that could be abruptly very bad. I want you to know that. As he gets a 7 on the die. So
Yeah, that's tough.
that's an 11 in total. So that's going to be a no. So it is the master's turn as the spider makes it above the roof above you guys at this moment. I would say, Isaiah, you have been generating the amount of time necessary to assume the minute that would pass by in which your haste would end. You feel like it's coming very soon, in which case you will lose a turn. However, the master is up at this moment in time.
So
And
I
I'm
only
gonna
get
say-
one more turn of haste?
You get one more turn of haste.
Okay.
And this master blood mage is very, very wounded at this moment in time. Looks to be on death's door, and a predator of great degree has just revealed itself to him. The spider, his turn will be already elapsed at this point in time. The master, oh man, what is he going to do with this situation? I think the only thing he can really do... Shit. He is going to use... Yeah, he's going to use Blood Boil. You see this mage generate some type of forbidden attack, and he captures the spider or he's going to try to capture the spider within the Blood Boil. He's going to do the spell that was used on Oslam Darai himself. And he's going to look at you and he's going to say, "Let me go."
I...
Let me go and I will be indebted to you.
I am going to... So, I don't know how the Blood Boil spell works. Isaiah doesn't know either. Is there a chance that... that I could... Is the spider within... Oh, the spider's definitely not within 10 feet.
No, he's not. He's
Okay.
he's a little bit up. And this range is 150 feet. So,
Oh, the Blood Boil spell has 150 feet range?
yes.
Yeah, that's big time. That's big time. I think all I would do is remain silent as he casts Blood Boil on the spider.
The spider does not make his con save, unfortunately. The Blood Mage simply gets to one knee, casts this spell, is concentrating on it at this moment in time, looks at you and finds himself in a deadlock that he cannot find himself to get out of. The individual that's down below, his apprentice or lackey, seems to be still paralyzed at this moment in time. Isaiah, it's come to your turn still. He looks at you and says, "Allow me to leave and I'll be indebted to you. I can tell you whatever you wish."
The apprentice that is currently a balloon on the ground. Is the balloon a condition? Is that a disease? Is that something that can be cured or no? Or do I not know?
You ask him that?
I would say, do I know this?
I would say you don't know what's going on. It seems to be generated from the mask itself that hides their identity and seems to have a little bit of control. Maybe not control, but has a lot of power over them.
I would say I would look at him and I would say, let me get back to you on the letting you go part. And I'm going to cast sleep on him.
Oh shit, you bitch. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, you cast sleep on this individual. That is going to drop concentration on the blood boil. I need to roll the damage for that initially. But you've placed yourself in an interesting position here, Isaiah. So you use one of your actions to cast sleep. That's some okay damage. That's not terrible.
It would be 7d8 of.
Oh, he's out. He's out.
Okay.
Yeah, no matter what. He had 9 HP.
Okay.
So the spider takes a lot of damage from the blood boil, but it is dropped at this moment in time, and he is now free.
This is a 1 minute kind of ordeal. He'll be asleep for a minute, but I would probably be with casting that spell. Actually, it's not a concentration; it's just a thing that happens. So my hold person would still be an active on the balloon boy.
Yep.
Okay.
At this moment in time, his ballooning has ceased.
Subsided.
Currently.
Okay.
Yeah, subsided for now. However, your action is still going, and the spider is making his position known that he is going to continue to pursue his prey.
Can I make a sense of what type of creature this arachnid fella is? Is he an aberration, celestial, elemental, whatever?
You may use a divine sense, and you may.
Would that cost an action?
Ooh. Does it?
Divine
Yes,
sense
it does
as
cost
an action. Yeah.
Yep. You look at it. It's hard to tell. Its means are very dark in a sense, but that doesn't necessarily dictate its origin. I'll say with your passive investigation and passive insight being as high as it is, I'll say that it's celestial in origin. And the fact that it is spider-like would suggest something of interest and concern at the same time.
I would jeez Louise. I would so many spells that I want to cast at once. Just give me 100 turns in a row.
I know.
And 100 spell slots while you're at it.
Oh, if only.
I will stand guard in front of the body of the sleeping blood mage. I would take my shield out and I would instead of casting a spell, I will probably just I will cast protection from good and evil on myself.
Oh!
And I will
on yourself?
On myself.
Okay. The spider doesn't need to pursue quickly. He takes his time moving down Isaiah, I'm going to say this is an interesting situation. Is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn. I have no other actions that I can take. Yeah, I'd have no bonus action that I'd want to take.
Give me... I'm going to ask you this. You feel the haste spell exhaust your body very quickly. Give me a deception check to see if you can hide this from the spider.
Okay. That is going to be a natural 8 for an 11.
Natural 8 for 11. I will roll insight. I will not tell you whether or not it succeeds or not. Let me see. Okay. The spider slowly begins to descend from the building above. You hear a number of commotions coming from the chase and other possible battles happening within the city, and he looks at you with interest and slight distrust. You stand before me and my prey. Why do you hide this, vermin? You would give up your honored life for his?
I would look at the spider with resolution and conviction and say, this man, this prey, may be yours. But first, he must be held accountable by the people. The very people, and I would look around, the very people which he seems persistent on slaughtering and abusing.
The spider slowly begins to lower, and as he does so, he spews a web on all three of you at once. Now, during the moment in time of haste when you lose a turn, I don't remember if you are incapacitated or stunned.
I can't move or take action until after my next turn.
But it doesn't say anything about reaction, correct?
It does not say I can't make a reaction.
So then give me a dex saving throw if you wish to not be webbed up. However, he is going to web up no matter what. The sleeping individual down below and the one who is paralyzed.
Okay. I'll make a dex. I will choose to make the... well, wait. I said I positioned myself in front of the dude's body, unless he's straight to the side.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get an angle for sure.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'll make the dex saving throw, and this will be a natural 20 for a 25.
Oh my god. You deflect the ball of web off to a neighboring building. Surprising the spider greatly. Still troublesome in all ages, you warriors are. If diplomacy is your weapon, I shall use it against you. This man abuses things far beyond his power. You are not my prey. You are someone else's. I seek to destroy those who abuse the map. Neith's blessing.
And then when he says the magical, mythological, not bad connotation related N-word, my ears will perk up, and I will say, I would change my tune a little bit. I would be a bit more passive and say, friend, would you not think that I have equal, if not stronger, claim to the judgment of Neath just by the very fact that I wield this? And I would draw attention to the Kopesh that I'm wielding and try to interpret a, reaction, what reaction he would give, if any.
He does not seem to recognize the weapon.
In the moment of lack of recognition, could I make the symbol of Neath glow upon it?
You may, and I would say that he sees the symbol itself. It becomes realized to him that you might have some play to do with it, and I'll say roll me a persuasion check.
Fuck yeah. This is the only thing my character's built for. Yeah. Yeah, just kidding. It's built for other things, but this is the bread and butter, baby. This is the toast. Known at once. Okay, fuck my life. It's a natural 5 for a 12.
I will say I'm gonna roll a natural 2 for insight here. This appears to be a god-fearing creature of unknown origin. Illusions and magic, enchantments, and paladins are aplenty in Jabaxi, especially here. You may wield a weapon that bears her mark, but many have done so and committed sins in the name of the gods. If you are so honest, you will take this man to justice based off the laws of the god, not the laws of the land. He abused the great map. See to it he never does so again. And you'll see this individual walks down towards the area that you guys were and simply walks past, turns back into a smaller spider-like form, and just crawls between a crack of a house and disappears.
That's so fucked up. Okay. Um. I'm trying to see if I can do something here. I'm trying to uphold what the Spider-Man was saying, but okay. Then what is the do I get actions back? That's the first question.
At this point, yes, you have actions back.
Am I
Enough
still
time
in
has
initiative
passed.
with Balloon Boy?
I'm gonna say Balloon Boy. With, you know what? I'll roll. I'll roll to see if he breaks out at any point in time. 4. No, you get another turn to do whatever you need.
And he's deflated at this point?
At this point, he's no longer grotesque. He is paralyzed for at least whatever the remainder amount of time is left. In D&D conversation, time tends to slow down into milliseconds so that, words can be exchanged.
Yep. We
Through
find
actions.
pocket dimensions where conversation may happen. I would bind up the apprentice, and I have a minute of this dude sleeping, so I would also try to bind him up with any rope that's nearby and rope that I have. I will say this. I will take both of their components pouches.
Okay.
and they will be. I will rip part of their, I would assume, mage robing or clothing, and make a makeshift gag for both of them, so that they may not speak.
I will say that the masks that they wear upon their faces that enchant their heads to no longer be visible, it makes it very difficult to tell if you're able to muffle said voices, but I'll say that you adorn something regardless.
Are the masks removable?
In immediacy, you try to pick one off and it just does not come off at all. Seems like it's serving a purpose and through combat means wouldn't come off easily either, even struck.
Mm.
Roll me an investigation check just to be sure.
Yeah, I'll do that. I like that. Natural 13 for 17.
17. You are easily able to detect that if these masks are removed in any malform that is not necessarily correct, they will explode.
Okay, well, all right, fair enough. Then in that case, I will begin with my ogre gauntlets. I will begin the long haul of dragging these two mages back to the temple.
And as you do so, Isaiah, you will eventually be intercepted by none other than your homie, Miss Ion herself.
Ion!
Dressed in her pajamas that she has purchased. They are greatly adorned. They are like silk designer pajamas. Seemingly the only type of designer clothing she wants to wear is these nice soft pajamas.
God bless. What a queen.
She looks at you, addresses you, asks you what blood is yours, if any of it is.
I would look at her and say, "This is not my blood. This is the blood of a overly excited blood mage." As I look down to the blood mage master.
She will assist you in carrying these bodies.
She'll take one. I'll take one.
All right.
And we'll make our haul.
You make your way back up to the temple, I assume?
Yes.
In which case, Aslam Darai himself would have dressed himself lightly, seemingly well burnt and attacked by these mages. Smiles, seeing that you have now arrived. A number of bodies have been lined up outside and wrapped, and a number of other ones, including the bodies of Malice, have been attended to. And Malice seems to be unconscious at this moment in time, his bite wound upon his neck growing ever more worse. The other individuals that are not Malice, some guards and seemingly one other blood mage, at this moment in time, seem to be leaking small spiders from their body that begin to scatter.
Interesting.
Malice, made of tougher stuff, seems to not have succumbed to this fate as of yet, but he looks really bad.
Can I make a medicine check on the nature of Malice's condition?
You may.
That's a 10 for 11.
You look down. The ichor leaking from his wound is very similar to that of the spider being that had released some in different senses. You didn't see this individual bite any other person or anybody at all during combat that you could tell. But Malice himself, you saw this wound upon him when you had scried him from the map before. It looked far more fresh, but nowhere near as bad as it does right now. It's a strange, magical venom, it seems to be, and there does seem to be a lining of eggs leaking itself into this wound, gestating as we speak. The I'll say 3 or so priests that have been bit by the spider seem to be worse for wear and or have given birth at this moment in time to what seems to be hundreds of spiderlings as we speak. Their bodies just bloating with eggs and eggs. The origin of which this magic seems to be similar to that of the Duat, but different in another way. It seems to be more so evocative of conjuration. It's creating more and more spiders.
If you can't answer this question, feel free to remain silent. But do I get the idea that casting Lesser Restoration would fix the condition, or potentially casting Dispel Magic would alleviate the condition? If it is conjuration magic?
You feel like, under the right circumstances, a Dispel Magic could very much so work. And where Malice is at this point in time, a lesser restoration will also work. However, a greater restoration would be necessary for the other priests.
I will cast Dispel Magic on Malice. And depending on the spell level, I can try to make the save.
Yep, roll me a d20 and add your charisma modifier.
Natural 9 for a 12 total.
Yeah, you cast the spell, you take care of a lot of the issue, but yet it remains at this moment in time, lessening his issues greatly in the long run, you believe, but he's still unconscious and looks worse for wear.
I will use a Lesser Restoration then on him as well.
Alright, you use a Lesser Restoration on him as well, and he definitely looks far better. The eggs themselves seem to dissipate from within him, and you see this yellow ichor turn to sand. And nothing but the wound itself remains.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that. Then, in that case, I will go to the remainder of the priests and basically give an even distribution of my 30 points of healing that I can use with Lay on Hands across all of them.
Okay.
To stymie the effects to the best of my ability and basically tend to the wounded.
You see a number of the priests around and a number of other healers. They are giving their best magics that they can. Some lesser restorations at the highest, a number of cure wounds, and you show up, swinging hard with 10 for each, and you manage to seemingly stabilize these 3 priests that have gone by. And much to the surprise of everybody, your magic seems to be far more effective than all of theirs. And suddenly whispers and awes have made themselves known to you. A number of the priests, they come up to you, a number of children even come up to you and thank you greatly for your efforts. Oslam himself also seems to be impressed and just... Had I known this was the case with you, Isaiah, I would have used you sooner for such things, such deeds.
Um, well, Aslam, you are in luck. There's still plenty of time to not take me for granted, and I would look over to the two blood mages that I dragged into the room with Ion and say, we must figure out what to do with these two blood mages, as well as the blood mages that I left behind before I enabled the chase. Um, these these misguided individuals need to adhere to the transgressions that they've committed against the people, in addition to the transgressions that they've committed against the gods. And so I will allow the people of this town to do as they see fit for the transgressions of the people, but I will take care of the judgment that they. I will take care of the judgment for Neith herself in particular.
Oslam's eyes at Neath begin to widen ever so slightly, and a number of the priests look in great surprise. You invoke the name of Neath, a god I thought long lost to general populace. I suppose the introduction of said spiders in recency should be known as an omen, I suppose. My magics have waned in our past night, Isaiah, and my rest was interrupted, as I imagine yours was. So, with this time, if you would allow me, I must call upon Joy, as the number of trusted individuals has lessened to only one as he looks towards Ion in this moment. I urge you to get your rest in the night, as so will I.
And I look over longingly into the distance at the wall. You know when you play Guitar Hero for 30 minutes straight and you stare at the drywall and you're like, why am I... Did I take acid through my eyes? I'm going to have that, 1,000-yard stare as I stare into the wall, and instead of the swirls, I would look deep into the brick, and just in the brick, I would probably see all the spell slots that I've burnt up in just the past 15 minutes to facilitate this temple invasion and chase down the transgressors and try to save some priests. And I'm just like, man, I could use a shut eye. I could use some shut eye. I could use some shut eye as I almost begin to collapse from the toll that tonight has taken on me. And I would lean on to Ion to kind of just army carry me, or baby carry me back to my room, as I am just fucked up. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to her tightly and snugly, and I would just give those like little tired baby whispers, those the me 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 me, and I would just be like, thanks for coming to my help, Ion. I don't know what I'd do without you. And then before I hear any cockamamie bullshit, I would just say, and I'm grateful for you too, Lyman.
You do feel Lyman rest his little paws on your head as he too kind of collapses into your arms. in the same sense. His tingliness subsided, and he becomes visible, just saying, "Why do ambushes happen in the night? Oh, so frequently."
I would whisper, half in a daze. Like not even, when you're half asleep, but you're still trying to hold up a conversation, and the conversation just goes off tracks because you don't even know what you're saying. I would just like nod assuringly to Lyman. I'd be like, that's a good point, Lyman. I think we should have a meeting and get that changed to daytime only.
Daytime only. As Ion carries you, you hear her whisper into your ear, Will Malice live, in your opinion, Isaiah?"
I look at Ion assuringly, and I said, I did a lot for that boy. He should be fine. At this point, it's in the God's hands whether he is to see the other side or not.
She shakes her head in solidarity. "He was on guard protecting us tonight, and I feel as though I have failed. I should have been more astute and taken guard with him watching over you all. No intruders would have gotten past me. And I will do well to up my game, as Amun says."
I would look up at Ion into her green eyes, right? Green?
Yeah, she's got green.
I would look up into Ion's green dragonborn eyes. So much beauty and power, and a little bit of like you're about to shit yourself energy. And I would say, Ion, don't beat yourself up about it too much. The boy was just doing his duty, and he did it well. But if you truly would like to make it up to him, then please, in the morning, tell him thank you for the cheese.
She does smirk at that. The cheese was good. She kicks your door open, launching the wardrobe.
Oh my
And
gosh. That's right. I blocked the room in. Douche!
she kicks it, sends it flying like nothing, like a styrofoam cup, and gently lays you upon the bed, tucks you in, tucks Lyman in right next to you, removes your weaponry, armor, and like you can hear her like in the night like scrubbing it with some type of rag, just trying to get the blood off of it, and eventually leaves your room.
Okay.
And if you wish so, your rest continues.
Yeah, I would take my rest. I would take a rest. Would this count as just a short rest then?
No, you can continue your long rest if you wish. You'll wake up later in the day, but wake up nonetheless. You shall do so at full HP. Again.
I will do this. I will do this. I will wake up later and deal with the implications of that later. And do I have any dreams?
Your dreams, Isaiah, are of the old heart where you first met Ion. At the cusp of the underworld, you brought life back to it, and as you begin to fade and zoom out ever so slightly from the planescape you know to be Jabaxi into the map of Neath, you see that magic slowly begin to spread out throughout Jabaxi bringing new magics and life that have not been seen before or in a long time for centuries, knowing that you have made a difference in the world. And slowly those webs begin to spread out from the continent known as Jabaxi itself, and slowly start making their way across the sea towards Salia, in which you wake up and you realize that change has been made, and Lyman snores, unsurprisingly.
That's beautiful.
And what that change means could be good or bad, and is most certainly going to be both.
Everything has an equal and opposite reaction.
Certainly does. So, Isaiah, what's the first thing in the order of the day?
The first thing of the order of the day would be to check in on Malice. Yes, I'm going to check on our boy Malice. I want to see what the status is of that wound, just general demeanor, and then from there we'll move on to talking to Aslam Durai. Not DeVry, jeez, not a university.
You're met at the door with the presence of Joy right outside of it, back to your door in general. As soon as you start making noises and open it, she's no longer leaning against it and greets you solemnly, but doesn't spend too much time with the proper greeting, I would say. There's also a number of guards outside your door as well, seemingly unassociated, that have been waiting.
I look around. I'm dressed, but I'm not suited up. And I would look around to the guards and Joy, and I would say, um, "Is there a? Is this like a surprise party that's going on out here? Like, why? What's everyone doing outside my door?"
One of us has a right to be here as a proper guardian. The rest seek a summons, and she looks towards the guards about.
I would inquire.
One of them speaks up, and Dwarven. She's bearded, slight adornment on the beard as well, seemingly a captain of some kind, and says, "Isaiah Pharos, this is a summons." Hands you a piece of paper.
I would open it and read it.
You have been summoned to essentially the Elder Circle in a location outside of the city itself, near the military academy, for questioning on what happened last night. Doesn't give a time. Simply says today.
I would look at the dwarven woman and say, pardon me for my ignorance. I've only been here for a day now. Can you help explain to me what this Elder Circle is?
A number of representatives chosen by the other chairman or chairwomen, their identities remaining unknown, as Aslam Durai is the chairman of the people, the Paragon himself, makes himself known. The others work through proxy, specifically the Elder Circle. They wish to know what has transpired in the night last night, with you and Aslam Durai coming under duress, with assailants known and unknown. We are
I,
not here to escort you, simply to know whether or not you will show.
I will look at her and nod and say, I will be there by midday.
She nods, gives a sour look towards Joy, and pushes past. One of the guards following her has a bloody nose as well.
That's funny. Get
It
fucked.
is.
Um, I will continue about the mission. Go to Malice.
All right. Joy brings you over towards Malice, and he is bedridden, but he's looking a lot better than he did before. His two puncture wounds seem to have scarred up, and he's at least sitting up in this moment in time.
Um,
Hey, Rockstar.
I would smile at him, you know, shaking my head no, like, nah, dog, that's you. Nah, dog, that's you. That's all you, king. Um, I would put my hand on his shoulder and I would say, just had to check in on our new favorite guard. Keep it up. You might be employee of the month.
You say this about Joy? Or, no, you say it about Malice,
I
even.
say it about
Okay.
Malice when
Okay.
visiting him.
He cracks a smile shortly and then becomes more stoic in a sense, and I should have been there for you in Aslam, but I definitely made a damn fool of myself. Me and the local guard don't get along that well. And seemingly neither does our little Tempest here, and he like points a foot over at Joy and her bloody hand. And she just kinda, sucks air through her teeth and just kinda spits on the ground in solidarity.
Beautiful.
Aslam came by not too long ago and re-informed me what happened. He he says that he has hidden the two problems you ran into last night. Not wanting any of the potential chairmen to get their hands on them. Just in case they did come with certain orders from certain individuals. Not putting too much out there.
Well, I appreciate you sweeping those two problems under the rug until the appropriate actions are taken to absolve them of their deeds. Um, but yeah, appreciate it. I appreciate it. How are you holding up though? Otherwise,
Feel like shit. That was the worst bite I've ever taken in my life, if I'm being honest.
yeah, it did not look so good. I got a little lucky and avoided an actual encounter with one of those spider fellows. Hopefully, if and when I see them, maybe it'll be on better terms. But I'll focus my optimism more on your recovery than what may happen in the future.
Well, don't focus too much. Just keep your ass out of trouble as best you can to make me enjoy his job just that much easier. How about that?
That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. You take it easy, Malice, and
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get some actual rest from this point on. So, pardon me. And he's gonna just tuck himself in nice and deep.
yep, I'll make him a little burrito. Just a little nice little burrito.
Yep, perfect,
Um,
perfect.
and then I would I would go to what's his name? I keep forgetting it. Aslam Durai. I would go visit him.
Yep, you will find Oslam right outside of the map room, uh, performing sealing magics all over it.
Fair enough. Uh, I will look at him and I'll say, "Pardon me for interrupting, but I just wanted to let you know that I am being summoned by the Elder Circle this afternoon, and I plan on attending."
He seems tired, but at this point adorned in his regular standards at this moment, and just kind of closes his eyes, lowers his head a little bit as you mentioned the elders, and just, I thought that might be their goal. I think it would be very educating for you to attend a meeting between them and go forward in good faith, knowing that they mean well for the city and its people. That is all.
I was informed by Malice that our two problems are being held safely and securely nearby.
If you are willing to accompany me at some point in tonight, we can begin questioning them. The only thing I need from you is to go pick up some very delectable smelling food to begin the questioning with and to have for ourselves. Enough for maybe 5 people.
Hmm, that sounds good to me. I can see to it that food is procured. I assume it would be more appropriate to have our discussion with our guests before seeing the elders.
If that's what you wish, we shall do so.
Hmm. I will start by procuring the food. I'll worry about everything else later. And I will excuse myself from the room.
And what kind of food is Isaiah going to roll up with?
I basically want. Hmm. I want it to be really good. I want it to be really good. Actually, I think I already have had it in the miniseries, but I'm a double dip again. I'm gonna try to get a shit ton of euros, Greek euros. Get that fresh, hot, sizzling lamb. Get some of that, that feta cheese, a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of tomato. Put it on some what's that? Flatbread or naan bread, and then forgot what condiment that they put on it. Let's call it like a. Maybe this time they go a little bit crazy. Maybe they could do a little bit of like a chipotle ranch, a little chipotle ranch action on top. And I think because I'm going out with the intent of getting delectable food, I would try to get a lot of delectable food since I still have 20 gold, and 20 gold is enough to, I feel like, get some level of catering going on here. So I would like a Euro caterer, if that's possible, in this lovely town.
You have the little black coin that Oslam has provided you with as a form of requisitioning food. So you are able to get basically anything you need.
Oh, God bless. Yeah, and I have a fake.
Yeah, and you have a fake, yeah.
Awesome.
So certain food vendors will look at that, not know what it is, call over their supervisor, and then they'll say, "Oh, okay, gotcha." And they'll pull out the catering Jimmy John's for euros here.
God bless.
And within an hour, you will have a decent amount of food.
Yeah, we feeding, and we feasting. So yeah, I'm gonna feed the priests that were mortally wounded. I'm gonna save a plate for Malice. I'm gonna give some to Ion because she's done her best. She's such a sweetie.
Yep.
And then Lyman, I'm gonna make sure he has a small plate, a very small plate, and he
Okay.
will have veggies on his plate. He will have to eat those veggies, and then he will be able to have lamb. Um, you'll also have bread slices, and yeah, I just want to make sure everyone's kind of stacked to the nines before I go to Aslam Darai and talk to the blood mages.
You make me an insight check, Isaiah.
I would live to do that. Let me pull up the character sheet again. There we go. A natural 18 for a 23.
Very high insight check. You notice two things. One of being very, very important order in this situation. You notice that the familiar formerly known as Tink is missing, and you cannot feel their presence. And you notice another thing. Amongst the little chest that you had containing the bone of the Archfey, it's gone. And you realize something, that it was very close to the Kopesh last night. And very well its thievery might have triggered the whole event.
Oh, it can never be easy here in Jabaxi. It's like a fucking
And you,
sitcom, bro.
yeah, you curse your luck on this, but at the same time you were needed in other places in the world, and very well could have saved a number of individuals from being destroyed last night.
Oh, okay. Um, that's a buzzkill, but I didn't notice it then. I couldn't act on it then, and like you said, there's a lot going on. So we just got to keep it pushing. We already made it a pain in the ass for the hags. Hopefully, it's still enough of the pain in the ass. So just keep it pushing. I will still continue on to Aslam Darai with a euro for him.
Aslam will accept his euro. He will take a singular bite of it at first, and then save the rest, showing that you have provided a decent amount of them. Aslam is going to bring you to a room circular in nature, adorned with a number of tapestries, and Aslam is going to walk you over to one that seems a little bit familiar to you. It is a tapestry in the form same as the one that you got your shield from.
Oh,
That someone
interesting.
referred to it as the Nagazi shield. However, this particular tapestry does not contain the blue-cloaked, red-haired warrior with the weaponry you saw before. It looks like the same backdrop, except there is a cave past a tree that you didn't see before. And Aslam looks at you, shuts the door, puts a magic lock on it, and he walks into the tapestry.
I look back through the fourth wall at the camera and say, let's fucking yabba dabba do this shit as I Mario 64 my ass into the wall.
And as you do so, you enter into Nagazi itself. It's strange feeling being made of tapestry itself. You're like Yoshi in Woolly World form. Everything palette wise seems like it was turned into yarn, and it feels strange. But you seem to have all your faculties, and you make your way into the cave where you see the two blood mages properly held up by what looks to be a very strange looking set of ropes up by their wrists. And Aslam asks you to place the delicious euros down below them so that they can smell what they are missing out on for being traitors to Jabaxi. And I think after that we can leave it off right there.
Yeah, I'm putting that right by their feet, and yeah, it's gonna be tough for them. It's gonna be. I could go for a euro right now, but St. Cloud, man, like we could. God forbid we're cultured in any meaningful sense beyond a fucking Popeyes and a Raising Cane's. No disrespect to those great establishments, but like, goddamn, it's just fried chicken, and that's it in this godforsaken town. Anyways, that's a whole other issue. What a great session!
We
Great
did it.
time. Great time. Let's be honest here. That initial encounter at the beginning of the episode was not supposed to go that smoothly. In that moment, I felt bad because I'm like, it's so crazy how a couple of bad rolls can take like a plan and then deflate it and just be like, oh, 3 mages failed a hypnotic pattern check and are incapacitated, and this victim that I had planned to have like be suffering is like now free and has all of their faculties back. That's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a little annoying.
I felt bad for you in the moment, but I'm like, this is the smartest move, and I can make this look cool in a role playing sense. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna send it. It's I want to keep hypnotic pattern because when it works, it's so powerful and so good. I want to just use it ever so rarely. It has to be like there has to be. I have to have the picture of it in my head of where it would make sense in order to use it. So I'm glad that I've only from off the top that I can recall I used it in this instance, and then against in the bunny encounter, in the carrots and crits episode. So proud of that. Proud of that. Other things that took me off guard. Really was thinking that spider dude was going to be a bad guy. Really just was. So when you like described the initial opening of that cave and you're like, yep, you see these mages, you see the spider dude, and they're all that, and then you described it as like a third party type of situation. I'm like, who is this Spider-Man working for? I felt like J. Jonah Jameson. I'm like, someone give me that Spider-Man. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So that kind of threw me off guard, and so then once you made the kind of the allusions to the Neath reference, I was like, oh, okay, that's very cool, that's very interesting, and I don't like that he can just turn very big and very small whenever he feels like it. Not very cool, but
Unnerving. Very unnerving.
yeah. Let's see what else in the episode that caught me off guard. They still give me pause because they still had the eggs coming from the neck injuries of some of these temple people. So that gives me some like pause for concern of like what is the MO? What's the motive here? Like what really happened last night? And so interested to explore that further. Let me think. What else? What is others? Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the episode? Any highlights? Any takeaways? Things that took you off guard? Things you're grateful for? Things you're like, fuck you, Patrick? Whatever.
All of the above for hypnotic pattern. I'll never remember it. I'll always hate it, but I always respect it because I'm like, damn, that spell is good.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is good.
There are some sleeper spells that like they don't work often, but when they hit, they do. They're so awkward in terms of like how do you counterplay against it, like hypnotic pattern and like successfully casting sleep.
Yeah,
That being
sleep is
the other
pretty
big
good.
one. It's like it's always a risk because it's like you have to roll the hit points for it. So it's like how many people can you really get with it, especially when you're a level 11 character? Like a lot of these opponents are going to be a lot of HP, so it's always a gamble of when's the best time to use sleep. So I'm glad that that risk paid off. Yeah, no, that was very cool, very cool. Very much loved it. But um, yeah, any other thoughts or things to add before we wrap up this episode?
I will definitely say that I'm glad that somewhat of an understanding was made between you and the spider person to allow for possibly more encounters in the future. Who knows? Uh, when it comes to Isaiah, I like to think of it as like you're leading an avalanche, usually of sand in this case,
Yeah,
and lots of things that have never been seen before for a lot of the people are just going to be unearthed, and maybe some of that blame will come to you for sure if they, put two and two together. Like, well, this motherfucker just popped up here. People started dying, which is not uncommon, but then people started dying in different ways to different things, which is uncommon.
yeah, yep.
I don't want
And
to die to the regular ways.
yeah,
What the hell?
to be fair, and the fake news, they'll. I hope they some of them cover the fact that some lives were saved when I entered the picture,
Hmm.
um, but I get it. I get it. No, I'm very glad that the me and arachnid fella, met a amicable temporary end. Because if he was gonna forcefully try to take the mage body, I think I would have role played that engagement to keep on going. Because I don't know if I would have necessarily allowed it. Granted, I don't know how much choice I would have been allowed to have, considering I lost that action. So he would have an action
Yeah.
to do what he wants, basically. Um, but that was a risk that I kind of took, and that's why I spent so long thinking, because it was like I know I'm gonna lose an action, so how do I position myself to have the most favorable outcome with, you know, no action coming up, and you know, I thought myself into a rabbit hole, and I'm like, it's just you just kind of have to hold that L and just hope for he doesn't just come up on you swinging, and that's kind of where the thought process was there. Did he notice that I was faking it?
He did. That's
Yeah.
why he webbed. Which, at that point in time, like, it was either he's going to straight up just kill this mage and there's nothing you can do about it at all because he had 9 HP, and the spider still had a decent amount of HP left, so he knew he could probably either just kill his prey and get out, or kill his prey and potentially put you down, at least temporarily.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a reason to end you in that situation, and he did describe what is essentially his purpose, at least to a slight degree.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm super happy with where a lot of the things ended up today. Sucks that we lost the rib, but hags are gonna hag and thieves are gonna thieve. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, the perception check for last night, or the night before for Isaiah, was the thief of the bone, and it was played off as like, oh, there's a new web on this Kopesh. Maybe that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not awesome, but
It
is what it
happens.
is. It is what it is. You just gotta accept it.
Yeah.
Some things that aren't favorable to the story are just gonna happen to you over the course of the story. So yeah, I'll let it live. It is what it is. But yeah, we can wrap up the episode here. It's a good one. I love it. I love it. We're back. We're so back, baby. And I'm excited to see where this continues us. Oh, last thing I'll say. When you initially give me the summons, I'm like, no way is this the summons that I need to return to Pharaoh's. I was gonna be pissed. I was gonna be like, oh. First of all, how did you find out? Second of all, I've been trying to get there for about 11 episodes now, and you're just gonna just summon me? You think you could just summon me? I've been walking so many goddamn miles. Um, so I was like, okay, it's the Elder Circle. I can fuck with that. I can fuck with that. Let Pharaohs wait. Let them not know I'm here until they really absolutely must. But yeah, I'll wrap it up here. That's the only thing that I really wanted to say. But yeah, everyone, thank you for tuning in to this month's potentially episode of Reclamation. If you are a fan, feel free to hit the like, follow, subscribe, and remember to say thank you to our sponsor today, Adam and Eve. The holidays are coming up, and so is your loved ones.
Yeah, so are all of us.
So use offer code Raymond and
Oh, no.
get
No, no, no.
33% off on your
Nah.
first 9-incher.
Oh
Anyways.
my god.
All right. You guys have a good one. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.